All right, let's talk about a match that, on paper, should have been a total walkover. You've got the dominant, title-chasing Manchester City playing at home against a Chelsea side that was in absolute chaos. But, as we all know, football isn't played on paper, and what we got was a result that just defied all logic.
So here's the story in a nutshell. 42 minutes in, City get their goal through to Tijjani Reijnders. Classic City, right? Business as usual, you're thinking the champions are on their way. But then you fast forward through the entire second half, deep into stoppage time. We're in the 94th minute, and Enzo Fernández finds the back of the net. An absolutely unbelievable equaliser, right at the death.
So that's the big question, isn't it? The one that left everyone just scratching their heads. How on earth did a team in total disarray, a club literally in chaos, manage to snatch a point from the unstoppable machine that is Manchester City? Well, let's break down exactly how it happened. To really get how incredible this result was, you first have to understand what was going on at Chelsea before a single ball was even kicked. And honestly, calling it turmoil might be putting it mildly. Just days before this massive game, their manager Enzo Maresca was gone, out the door. Stepping into the dugout was Calum McFarlane, the under-21s coach. And get this was his first ever senior men's match. And who's his first opponent? Oh, just one of the greatest managers of all time, Pep Guardiola. No pressure. I mean, the context here is just staggering. Look at the facts. Chelsea were in awful form, winning just one of their last 7. City, on the other hand, were a fortress at home, winning their last 8. On top of that, Chelsea were hit with injuries to key players, and their brand new caretaker manager, with 0 senior games under his belt, was facing a legend with over 1,000. This looked like an impossible task on every single level. So, with everything pointing to a City win, how did this game actually play out? Well, it really was a classic tale of two halves. That first half went exactly to script. It was classic Man City. They had all the ball, they pinned Chelsea deep in their own half, and they deservedly got that goal right before the break. But then, after halftime, a totally different Chelsea walks out of that tunnel. They were aggressive, they pressed high up the pitch, and they showed this fight and character that had been missing for weeks, eventually battling their way to that dramatic finish. So, what was the secret? What changed? Well, according to the interim coach himself, it was a brave tactical decision at halftime. McFarlane said they changed the shape and changed the press. This tells you it wasn't just luck. It was a deliberate, tactical switch that completely changed the momentum of the game. And you know that shift was real when you hear it from the other side. City's midfield general, Rodri, came out and said they forgot a little bit how to play and that Chelsea got control. Wow, that is a stunning admission from a player on a team that is all about control. It just proves how effective Chelsea's changes really were. Okay, so a huge point for Chelsea, but this result sent shockwaves way beyond just one match, because for Manchester City, this was a massive stumble in the Premier League title race. 6. After the final whistle, that was the number that mattered most. This single draw meant the gap to the league leaders, Arsenal, had suddenly stretched to 6 points. And in a title race this close, every single dropped point feels like a disaster. And, this wasn't just a one-off bad day at the office. It actually capped off a really brutal week for City. It was the second game in a row they dropped points. It was the first time all season they'd failed to win at home after taking the lead. And to just rub salt in the wound, they lost 2 key defenders to injury. Just a perfect storm of bad news for their title hopes.
But here's where the story gets really interesting, where it takes a totally unexpected turn. If you're thinking this was just a lucky smash-and-grab draw from Chelsea, well, the underlying numbers might just make you rethink everything.
Now, if you just glance at the basic stats, you see exactly what you'd expect, right? More possession for City, way more passes, more shots. Looking at this, you'd think, yep, they dominated the game and were just unlucky not to win. But then we look at the one stat that tells the real story, expected goals, or XG. This basically measures the quality of the chances a team creates, not just how many shots they take. And here, the story completely flips on its head. Chelsea's XG was way higher than City's. This means that even though City had more of the ball, it was actually Chelsea who created the better, more dangerous scoring opportunities. This stat is a game changer. It completely flips the whole narrative. It suggests Chelsea weren't just lucky to get a draw. No. Based on the quality of chances they created, you could actually make a really strong argument that they deserve to win the entire match. That's a stunning thought, considering how the day started. Which brings us to the ultimate question. How do we remember this game? Was it a heroic, character-defining point gained for a managerless Chelsea team in total chaos? Or was it two absolutely vital points just carelessly thrown away by Manchester City in the middle of a brutal title race? The truth, as it so often does in football, probably lies somewhere right in between.